feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to be back here on this Thursday night. Well, it's Friday afternoon down here in what I like to call the Ice Kingdom of Melbourne. It is the Ice Kingdom down here. It is freaking cold. The duck nuts are very cold right now. The duck nuts are very cold. They are they are extensively frozen. It is good to see you guys. Good to be back here tonight. Oh, what is going on with this? There we go. Hey, good to see you guys. Good to see you. Glad to be back. Good to be back on the live show again for Nights with Ping. It's been a long week. I don't think you guys have felt it, but I definitely have. It's been one of those weeks where we've been trying to get things together. I can tell you that we are ready for trial. We have finished all of our pre-planning, everything, all the little projects that we wanted to make sure they were up and running. This delay in the Samantha Murphy trial has allowed us some more time to kind of refine things. And one of the things we've done is, one, the chat is ready to go. Our Patreon is up and running. I haven't given out the link yet. We won't until the trial gets underway. And the third thing is, last year when we did the Aaron Patterson trial, it was sort of the first large trial that Ping had ever done, and I messed up on a lot of different things, and I'm the first one to admit it. It was not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I was just trying to do my best for something I had never done before. But in the last 2 months, you guys don't know this, we have been running practice shows every night. You guys haven't seen them because they've been running on our backboard, but we've been running practice shows every night, running through a new way of presenting this trial information. So it's more it's more sufficient. That's not the right word. It just flows better, and that you guys don't have to listen to so much in between talking between the different parties. So it's not like you go like, they said yeah, and then they said no, we're not doing that this year. We're going to just give you the massive points of interest from the day of the trial. So it'll cut down the show, we think, by about an hour, and it'll cut down a lot of the minutia between the defense and the person and this and that. So you won't sort of get that full play by play, but you'll still get any chunks of information. So anything that's really, really important that you need to know about before the next day of trial, that's what you'll get. So we're just trying to make it more efficient. So when you listen to it, because when you listen back to it, it's horrible. It's not as easy to listen to as you think. Like when we're on live, it's very easy to do that and then be like, yeah, I listened to what he had to say, and yeah, it was great. I got all the information for tomorrow. But when you listen to it on the replay and you're trying to be like, where is this going? It's a lot more. It's not as it doesn't flow as good as it should. So we've worked on it. We've been practicing it, and we hope that by the time we get to the Samantha Murphy trial soon, we'll be able to put that into practice for you all. So I'm very proud of it. It took about 2 months to sort of look at what we'd done, break it down, go, okay, what actually is wrong with this? What don't we like? How do we make this better? And how do we get the information to the viewers quicker? So that's what we like to do, because it's a long day. It really is. When you sit through 8 hours of court and then you come home, because we can't do the whole thing in America where you just put the live stream on and then you just comment every 5 minutes on something like they do in America. Doesn't work that way here. We've got to literally sit in court and take notes every day and then come home and give it to you. It's a different way of doing it. But yes, we believe this year we've cracked it, and we've been able to find a more sufficient, efficient way of getting you that information. A lot of issuance. A lot of issuance. Spunky, hey, what's up, brother? I know YouTube takes a cut, but I hope it does, and it really does. I don't want anyone to feel like they should not do the super chats, whatever. It does help. I want to let people know that that some people don't know that they take a cut. People think it goes all the way to the creator. So we just try to let people know in case they go, hey, you know, didn't I give $50 like a month ago? Yeah, but it's really like 25 to the person. Spunky, I appreciate it. You're very kind. You've been more than generous. I think you funded half the memberships between you, Danny, and Sean. I think you funded like 50 memberships on the channel over the last month. So I appreciate it. Missy, how are you? Missy said, I laughed so hard yesterday at duck nuts, and you're doing it again. The duck nuts are still frozen in Melbourne. The poor ducks, their nuts are frozen. All right, let's keep going. I want to. I don't know why people are getting wrapped up in this again. People seem to be getting really wrapped up in these 911 prank phone calls. I think they're a prank phone call anyway, that happened to David. And I don't, well, David and his parents, I don't really understand why people are getting into a bit of a lather over this right now. This happened a while ago, I think like October last year. And it's sort of come full circle again with the arrest and charges of David Burke. People are starting to get reinterested in the case and now going back through things that have already happened. They seem to have honed in on these 911 calls, and I want to just show them to you tonight and be like, do you think there's anything weird here? I'm not sure, but I wonder, so if you don't know what swatting is where someone will make a fake 911 call to someone maybe online or a celebrity. Normally, the way it started was early online streamers, their viewers or trollers would think it was funny to call 911 and basically have police show up on the live stream. Yeah, real fun for the live stream, and no one wants that. But that is sort of how it started. And then it sort of got into, if you know who Ice Poseidon is, Ice Poseidon was a very early streamer in the online world. And he basically could not go anywhere without being swatted, including on an aeroplane one time. He was on an aeroplane going somewhere, and someone called in a SWAT, and he basically got ripped off an he was sitting on the airplane, and they came and ripped him out of there and held him for a period of time. So that is what this might be. That is what these things might be during this swatting. But people are saying maybe there was an overarching theme here to frame David. Now, personally, I don't think that. I think that's a weird theory considering everything we know today, including in all the documents we brought you, the autopsy, the probable cause affidavit, the what else did we bring you? The brief of evidence from the court. I don't know, guys. I don't know about this theory, but hey, let's play the TMZ. It's only like a minute, and then you guys see for yourself.
Waller County Sheriff's Office is Amber. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, Waller County Sheriff's Office.
Hello, I need help.
Okay, what's going on? Where are you at?
My address is...
Okay, what's going on?
I heard, some, gunshots.
Okay. How close to your residence were they?
They were, right outside my house, and I think someone's dead.
Okay, what's your name?
Say it again?
What's your name? Okay, what's a good phone number for you, sir? Okay, and why do you believe that somebody's dead?
I just heard like a loud scream and there was gunshots.
Oh, okay. After shots. Okay, but you haven't saw or heard anything else after that?
I heard a scream.
Was it a male or a female scream, do you think?
It was like a female.
Female? Okay, we're going to go ahead and get deputies headed out that way and just confirming you're at...
You know, not the most convincing 911 call that I've ever heard from a concerned citizen or neighbor. They're like, so tell us, what did you hear? I heard gunshots. What exactly, what else did you hear? I heard screaming. What kind of screaming? There was a female. Yeah, that sounds very sounds like a neighbor who is in fear for their life, calling 911 at the last desperate option to save a life. They might win an Oscar award. I don't think they would. I think it's this and people are saying maybe this is like the person who's pulling the puppet strings for David. I don't know about that. I think maybe just his fame attracts people, especially with him being online on Discord and other, and his name being in the media for Celeste Rivas, that it's, people are going to be attracted to that. People are going to try and dig into where his parents' house is, where his house is. And again, they're bored. They're going to do this type of thing. I don't know about this theory that is going around that there is some third party that wants to bring David down. And the way they do that is by killing his underage girlfriend, making prank phone calls, and then have her wind up in his Tesla dismembered with a chainsaw. That'd be a pretty sick game of trying to set someone up. You're like, we won, we got him. I think that would be a terrible way to try and do some sort of payback. Yeah, that didn't sound right at all, right? I think there's another video where they go to his parents' house. We might be able to get it. I think it's this one right here. Yeah, you guys can watch a little bit of it. If it'll play. Freaking TMZ.
I'll go out wide and keep you covered. You want to tap the door? Just wait for me, because I'm going to keep you covered. Go ahead. I got you covered. Come right here. There's too many windows. Here, knock on the door. We got a phone call from here saying that somebody was dead. Is there somebody else that lives on this property that has your address? What's your address? That's it.
That's it. That's what actually got.
We got an address. There was a gunshot and a woman scream.
What?
I'm serious. That's why we came up here like this, because and then they talked to the caller. Whoever they were talking to said that there's a person dead.
No, sir. No, sir.
Knock on the door. We need to talk to him. We ain't got time for this.
I love how they just close the door. They listen to what the officers have to say, and then they're just like, yeah, we don't want any of that. And they just close the door on them. That was the funniest thing I think I've ever seen. If there wasn't a dead teenage girl somewhere, I think that might be the funniest body cam video I may have watched in a while.
Ma'am, we got to figure out what's going on so we can leave, okay?
Very advised. We made contact. They said nothing happened here. She shut the door. Now she's calling 911.
That's clear. We haven't received a call.
I believe she's going to be in the process.
Go ahead, give him a call if you want to verify it. Okay.
All right, she's calling you now. There's more that went on.
Can you repeat, sir? Broken traffic.
Huh? That's not normal activity. If you were at the wrong address, they'd be concerned about somebody else. Like really? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they'd be trying to help.
Can you send Tinder 42, sir?
Sorry to bother you, but somebody called and said there was something. There was a person that were there. they called on themselves. You know what I mean? It was like, hey, there's somebody dead.
Someone's dead. Yeah.
That's what we. I mean, we're gonna take caution. You know what I mean? Wasn't trying to scare y'all. Just
And if it was
this
a
house
prank,
is way
we-
off the roadway. We.
So you just opened the gate and came in?
Yes, ma'am. I'll put it back. I have a gate just like it.
I think it's probably get my computer.
Yeah, when it's something like this, when they say somebody's dead, their life matters more than you know what I mean.
I hear.
I didn't damage your gate. I just opened it. Oh, it ain't on their phone.
And this not a this is
An
not a
out-of-state
this is not a
number.
Texas.
Yeah, it's an
area
out-of-state number.
Someone's messing with us. Someone's
But
messing with us.
whoever it would pinged here though, because wherever they call from, it pings and sends it to dispatch.
code. What the what?
So like whenever you call 911,
here?
wherever you are,
Uh-huh.
it sends like a ping
It's
Uh-huh.
being
to that's how they know the address.
You know, I know the cop has a job to do, and the way they're explaining the pin drop on that is somewhat misleading. There are ways to spoof. That's the real word for it. I know that sounds like something you might do with your girlfriend on a Friday night, but that is the correct word for it. There is a way to spoof that kind of GPS coordinates from a phone call. And there's multiple apps that do this. There's multiple different things that can move your location data. So actually, I'll tell you one of the easiest ways that people used to use this for was Pokemon Go. You know the Pokemon game where everyone runs around with the phone up to their head trying to catch the Pokemons that are not there? That you could use these type of spoofing apps so that you could move yourself around the world. You could set your location as anywhere, and then your game would jump to that location. So you could like go to, and I'm not kidding here. People went to Antarctica, and there was like stuff to do in Antarctica in the game. That's a real thing, and they use these type of same apps to fool the 911 caller system because it's a very basic system. When the call comes in, it's just looking for where it's coming from, and it doesn't matter. It's just looking for that information. There is no foolproof here. It is just looking for whatever information it can to tie a location to that phone call, and there are ways to mess with that and yeah, basically trick it.
And this address came up to this number?
Yes, ma'am, that's where he was meeting with County to Engine 42.
So is there somebody on my property?
It could be. We'll check the property for you.
Yes, please.
So we'll ride around.
This
If
is
you
not
can give
in
me a
my-
layout, how's the property? Like, does it go further back? Like,
No, it doesn't go any further back. It's just right here and then it goes
On the
straight.
fence, there's a gate here and the fence around, which is a private fence.
Well, him and I will ride around and check, and then we'll leave.
Yeah, okay, so that was a false alarm. See, I don't like this kind of thing. So if I really do have an emergency, then,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry.
Well, if you do have an emergency, you know we're gonna be here.
Okay.
We're gonna get here.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Mhm.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
The cops are like, well, now you know if you have an emergency, we're gonna be there. Well, we'll be here in minutes. Don't you worry. If you ever have an emergency, we'll be here. I don't know, guys. I don't think there's some grand overarching conspiracy here. I think fame brings in, and hey, fame and murder, infamy, brings in all sorts of crazy people to your world, including making these type of SWAT phone calls. And I don't think this is like the beginning of the, the cover up of trying to frame David. I've seen multiple videos in the past 3 days where they've used these two, one an audio track, one a video track, to try use it as a justification for their wild theories around David. And I think now that you've viewed it yourself, I don't think there's anything there. I think it is just someone messing with them. just someone being a jerk. And you might say, maybe they deserve it. Maybe they do. I don't know. I'm not the judge of that. But yeah, it was his family's home in Texas. It was a call for welfare. You heard it. It was someone saying that they heard screams and gunshots. Sounds like the most generic SWAT phone call ever. When they asked him what type of screams, he went, "Oh, I don't know. So like, might have been a female or something." Like the descriptions were wild. Like they were so detailed. You could have written a freaking horror novel based on it. No, they were very, very poorly done. Sounded like someone who was probably a teenager calling up just trying to make some trouble. So I don't know, guys. I don't think there's anything there. Jessie said, my mum loved playing Pokemon Go. It gave her a reason to explore her neighborhood in her power chair. More power to your mum. I think it's great that it got her out there doing something. Um, Sweet Universe said, I swear something bit me on the leg. I had to check it out. There was a guy today, a guy that was involved in a resin house. You know that guy that shot people a couple of years ago was found not guilty at trial. Apparently, he was bit by a brown recluse spider today, and he was in hospital for it. So if you know, is it Kyle Rittenhouse? Yeah, him. He was in hospital today. Kim said, I think people were upset about the body in his car. Yeah, I think that's all it is. I mean, you look at the date on this, and I think it's 9th of October. Let me double check. I think that's what it says. What does it say? 18th of September, 2025 at 21:22. So 9:22 in the evening. Yeah, 18th of the 9th. That's only like days after her body was discovered in the Tesla. Mere days. So I think you're right. I think that's probably what's going on. People learnt about the news. They learnt about this dead girl in his Tesla, and they went, "Hey, I know how to find out where his parents live. Let's try and like do something that's going to annoy them." So, internet justice, maybe. Jesse said, "Swatting has ended in innocent people getting shot. It's not a joke." Yeah, it's really dumb. It's something about the internet that needs to fucking die and needs to go away. There's one thing about hating someone. You don't like some sort of person online. You don't like their sort of image or whatever. That's fine. You know, that's okay not to like someone in that way. You don't have to like everyone. There's so many people on the internet, like half the world is connected at any one time to online, and you're not going to find a person online that you're going to like every time you click on something. That's just life. But you don't need to, cause this type of trouble by calling in a SWAT or trying to call in a SWAT team. People have been dragged off their computers. They've had people, all sorts of crazy stuff has happened before. Kim, yeah, it's pretty brutal. So look, I don't think it's got anything to do with it. I hope you guys don't get suckered into the conspiracy theories of David. Andrew says the family is strange. I think the response. Let's play it again because it was so funny.
Have a good night.
What's going
It's
on?
not funny that
Uncle, we
Celeste
can
is dead, but this bit was hilarious. Might win body cam footage of the year. Where is it? I want to see them close the effing door. That was hell of funny.
No, sir. No, sir.
They're just like, no, I don't want any of that. I'm going inside. Sorry, we're not buying any of your SWAT tonight. Thank you. Bye. Mick Spunky said, everyone loves me, Ping. Oh, well, that's what you get when you name yourself Mick Spunky. I mean, what else can people do? What else can people do with that? That's all they can do. Who's messaging me? Why do people insist on messaging me while we're live and then act like it's urgent? All right, there we go. Okay. All right. So a lot of people liked the hold on, let me get before we change topics, I want to see. Andrew says the brother is a singer now, opportunistic weirdo. I saw he posted something like a couple of weeks ago that said, like, PDF files or something all can die. It definitely seems like the brother is trying to cling on to any bit of fame that his family might have. That definitely seems to be. You're right. Megan said, "I'm sure." Megan, I don't think we have someone called Megan in our chat. Gayla said, "I'm sure we actually watched this when it first happened. It didn't have TMZ over it." Possibly. You're asking me to remember something from, what was it, September last year? September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, like 9 months ago. 9 months times 30. You're asking me to remember something that happened over 270 live shows ago. You're like, don't you remember? 270 live shows before this one. And you're like, don't you remember this video? Maybe. I mean, it starts to all blur together after about 100. My cat is here, and I don't know where he found that toy, but he found a toy that I haven't seen in like a year, and now he's playing with it. Uh, Kim says it's a strange time for the brother to try and start, I'm guessing, a career. Hey, man, you try and get fame any way you can, I guess. And as dirty as it sounds to try and do that on the back of your brother's murder trial, what are you going to say when they got 50 mil sitting in their bank account and they were like, "Oh, is that how it happened? Oh, I don't remember it that way." Because that is exactly what they're going to tell you in 5 years' time. They're going to be like, "Oh, I don't remember it happening exactly like that. Maybe it happened 6 months later." They're going to just deny it, and you're never going to be able to prove it to them. So, it sucks, but people do what they do, and we'll see what happens. Kim says it could be a real mouse ping. I was worried about that for like a minute, and then I realized it was a ball. Muffin, where did you get that ball? Aw. Hey, baby, what's wrong? Where'd you get that ball? Hi. Where'd you get that ball? It's his favorite ball. He had it when he was like a kitten. I don't know where he pulled it from. Hey? You can go play. It's all right. No, we haven't seen the mouse in ages. Like, we haven't seen it since it hasn't been near the property since January, February, something like that. We haven't seen it ever again. We're not sure what that was. It never got inside. We had the plumber here like a couple of weeks ago. He didn't find any evidence of any rodents or anything. So we don't know, and we don't know where it came from or how it got in or where it went. But our plumber said that there was nothing behind the wall. So he had to go behind a wall to do a bunch of stuff in the piping, and he said there was no evidence that there was anything getting in behind the, like, how you have behind your kitchen and the cabinetry and all that. He was behind there, and he said he couldn't see anything that would indicate any rodent activity. So where they were coming from and why we could hear them for a period of time, I don't know. But we have a weird, our where I live is very old. It was built in the 1950s, and it has all sorts of hidey holes and places that are not fully sealed anymore, due to renovations and stuff. I got no idea, but at least in the part that the humans live in, they couldn't find anything. So I got no idea that if that mouse ever got into my house, my two cats would obliterate it in like about 3 seconds. When they could hear it for a period of time, they would literally stay up all night and stalk the noise. And they were ready for it. Like, if it had come into the house, they would both have just been all over it. So I don't really worry about rodents getting property because my cats will take care of the problem in about 3 minutes. Hold on. All right, there we go. Maybe the cats ate it. I don't know. Muffin is like, he likes to play with his prey. And I'm guessing that if Muffin got anywhere near it, we would have found bits of mouse halfway across the house. There would have been like a head over here, a tail over here, a leg over here, because he is a vindictive, cruel hunter. He is very cruel to his prey. He just thinks it's all fun and games. All right, let's move on. That is your David update. So a couple of people have noticed that I got my hair cut. Yes, I did. I got my hair cut. It's all shaved again. I will tell you a funny story just for 2 minutes while I load this next story. I got my hair cut a month ago and no one noticed. And I was like, that's weird. Every time I get my hair cut, people notice and they're like, hey, your hair's short again. And I want to tell you a funny story. So we thought that maybe the hairdresser had forgotten to put the guard lower. So I always get a number 1 on the sides and underneath like my hair. So it's always shaved under here and on the back and that. Oh, I pulled out my ponytail. Great. So it's always shaved really short. And last month when I had my hair cut, I came out and I was like, it doesn't feel all spiky. So when you get your hair shaved to like number 1, which is almost bald underneath, it should feel like you shaved your beard. It should have that sort of spiky feeling, and it didn't. It felt like just normal hair, and I was like, "That's so weird. Like, did her clippers break? Did she not? Did she not put on the right guard on the clippers?" And it grew really quickly, like to the point where, like in 2 weeks, it looked like I hadn't even had a haircut. So we went back to the place last night, and then I was getting it done again, and then she's like, "Oh, are you happy with it? Does it look good?" And I was like, "Wow, it is still very long." I was like, "What is going on?" And then I said, "Oh, like if this is number 1, is there a number 0? Because this is still quite long. Like what can we do about this? It's too long. I don't remember it being like this." And then she goes, "What do you mean too long?" She's like, "If I shave you with a 1 and then we go down to a 0, that is like no hair on your head." She's like, "That means we're just bald." And I was like, I might be all right with that. And then she's like, "Wait a second." And she looked at the clippers, and the clippers had I think it was like a number 3 or 4 guard on it. So that's why my hair was not being done properly. And then she realized what had happened, and then she shaved my head properly. So for 2 haircuts, I almost didn't have any haircut, so that's why you guys never noticed that I had my, haircut last month, because she cut it with the wrong guard, and it basically meant, like, it didn't look like I'd done anything. It still was still about an inch long, and yeah, so now it's done. I'm so thankful, because I hate when it's so long. It feels horrible, and, yeah, so now you guys can see it. Uh, Gayla said it feels nice. It does. I like the spiky feeling. Actually, it's pulling my hair out though. Moonlight View. Hey, my sweetheart. How are you? Hey, good to see you. 00 is a surgical shave. I might need one of those. No, I'm joking. 0.5. Yeah. Moonlight View said that's funny. Yeah, I hope she wasn't too embarrassed, but I think she doesn't normally do male hair. The only reason I do it there is because they do cut my hair when I need a cut, because they're the ones who styled my hair and did all that when do you guys remember when I had really long hair? Does anyone in the chat remember before I had this hairstyle? I don't know if anyone does. I don't remember if we had the camera before I had this hairstyle or not. I'm not sure. I can't remember if in our early days I had the really, really long hair or not. But I used to have hair that was down to like really long. It was down to like my stomach. It was super, super long. We cut it short, and now it's down to about here. But yeah, we used to have really long hair. They're the ones who styled it and cut it and fixed it when it was getting all knotted and almost like dreadlocked in a way, because it was just too long, too thick. and they're the ones who did it. So that's why I go back to them, because they do trim it and lighten it. So they do that thing where they pull hair out of it to make it lighter, because my hair gets really thick. Yeah. So Kim said she should be embarrassed. I think she probably was. Marlene said, take a photo of your new cut on your phone. Maybe. It was Purdy, yeah. Oh, yeah, Moonlight View would remember. Moonlight View would remember. Mick Spunky said, I did a 5mm buzz off. Off everything? Off all of it? That's brave, brave. Picture, please. I don't know if I have one. From before when we had the long hair? I don't know if I have one. I don't know. Let me check. Let me check on my phone and I'll see if I do have one from when I used to have the really, really, really long hair. And I will, if I can find one that looks half decent, I'll show it to you another time. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if Gayla remembers. Kelly said, I don't know why thick hair is wasted on men. My hairdresser's always surprised. She's always like, why is your hair growing so fast? She's like, you come in here like every 8 weeks, and she goes, it looks like we have to like cut it all over again. Poor Mrs. Ping, she's always like, I wish my hair grew as thick as yours does. And I was like, I don't know why. I don't want this like this. That's why I shave it, because it's too annoying. And yeah, anyway, that's why. So if you didn't see my haircut last month, that is why, because my hairdresser forgot to change the clippers and didn't shave my hair properly. So that is why. But now we're back to normal. Actually, I pulled out my hair when I was showing you guys, and it didn't go back in properly. So we have to redo it. Hold on. There we go. That's better. That's better. Kelly said, same with my husband, his hair grows so fast. Yeah, except for it only grows here fast and in my beard. Nowhere else apparently. I don't know why. Apparently it just saved it all for my head, apparently. Gayla said, my daughter has mega thick hair. Some girls do, eh? Some girls have crazy hair that they can grow down to like their butt, and like it's like super thick. Both the butt and the hair. Jesse said, my hair is crazy thick. It drives me crazy. You need to ask your hairdresser to take some volume out of it. Use the I don't know what they're called, but they've got the spikes on it, and then they cut, and then they take some of the thickness out of your hair. It'll lighten up your hair, especially if you give yourself layers. Get some layering done. Apparently, I sound like Brad Mondo tonight. Kelly says, my husband does a fade, and I accidentally used the super short one straight up the back of his head once. He would have been very popular at work. He would have been very popular at work that day. Thinning shears, yeah. The ones with the spiky bits, they look like squares, and they go, and it takes out like a bunch of your hair. All right, no more hair talk. No more hair talk. We got true crime to get underway with. By the way, everyone liked the NFL reporting last night, which I thought was really funny. I don't really have much of an update on that, so I'll just give this one to you right now, just so we get it over and done with. Yesterday, I told you about how they found a receipt for a boat. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, we're talking about Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel. Well, today it just seems to never stop. More evidence is coming into the wild. Yesterday, we had a piece of paper with signatures on it. Do you know what we have today? Today, we have video evidence. Today, we have them on camera at the boat dock in Tennessee in June of 2021. A very pregnant Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel meeting up for their 3-hour rendezvous on the boat. It is getting out of hand. This evidence, who is behind all this evidence, and why are they drip feeding it day after day? There has been speculation online that this might be something like a private investigator that is working for one of the like husband or the wife of Mike Vrabel, husband of Diana Rossini or something, because it just seems to be happening at the most inopportune times consistently. And now, like, it's just so funny. We got the footage yesterday, not footage. We got the photos yesterday of the booking slip, and then today, yeah, they actually had the video. Here, I don't want to show TMZ, but there you go. There is Diana, heavily pregnant, and Mike Vrabel on a boat dock for their 3-hour rendezvous. It is getting out of hand. They are going to have to address this soon. Either Diana or Mike Vrabel, they are going to have to come out and actually say something, because I don't think this evidence is going to stop. People now know what was going on, and if they met her or him over the past 5 years, they're going to go through their photos and videos and try to find more evidence. So I think the best thing for them to do is to finally come out and admit if there was an affair. I'm not saying there was. I don't want to be sued for defamation. If there was an affair, they need to just come out and own it now. It's got to the point where there's just too much bizarre evidence, too much of them hanging out alone with no other people. It would be different if, say, Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel were hanging out, and she had some of her work friends and he had some of his Patriots friends, and they're just a friend group. Yeah, sure, that's a reasonable explanation. Sure, I think we could all do that. I think that would make sense. You're allowed to have female friends. But when you meet up in secret locations and hire a boat, a love boat is what I'm calling it, it's getting out of hand. And they have to address it. Hiding from this any further is just going to keep damaging both their careers, I think, anyway. Kelly said, "Did you ever look into the ex-NFL player in Tennessee who tried to say his wife died in her sleep while he was sleeping, even though she was stabbed?" And he asked ChatGPT suspicious questions. Why does that sound familiar? Did we do that story a while ago? I that sounds really familiar. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. Here, what is it? NFL player. Oh, that didn't work. Is it Anthony McClanahan? Anthony McClanahan. Is that who it was? Was this in Utah? This was back in May of 2019. Yeah, let me look it up. I don't know this story, actually. Now that I look at some of the details, I don't know this one. Anthony McClanahan is a former professional football player who is currently serving a prison sentence for the 2017 murder of his wife. This was a while ago. They're saying he was arrested for killing his wife, Kerry Casey McClanahan, at the condominium in Park City, Utah. Kerry was found with fatal knife wounds to her throat. Anthony initially claimed they were attacked by intruders, but evidence including lack of surveillance footage and his own confession to a cellmate contradicted this. Don't know if that's the same one that you're talking about, but that was back in 2019. No, not that one. Okay, it was Darren Lee. Darren Lee. Former Super Bowl champion asked ChatGPT. This was this year. This is like 10th of March. Yeah. Former Super Bowl champion asked ChatGPT about injuries before girlfriend's death. They're saying a judge has sent Darren Lee's murder case to a grand jury. Interesting that it's probably going to go to a grand jury for indictment. Autopsy finds blunt force trauma and stab wounds. How do you get stab wounds accidentally? They're saying Darren Lee appeared in a Tennessee courtroom on Tuesday as prosecutors outlined evidence they say ties him to the killing of his girlfriend, including messages where he asked ChatGPT about injuries and how to handle an unresponsive person. It concerns me in life and in general, that apparently this is what we do now when we are in a situation. Instead of use our brains, we now have to ask AI. AI, who do I call when I find my girlfriend dead in bed? AI, what happens when I kill a person? What do I do after that? It is getting ridiculous. We are no longer thinking with our own brains. Don't buy in to the AI bullshit. I don't use it. Ping rarely uses it. If I do use it, it may just to be to compile some sort of information quickly, but I don't use it in everyday life and for this and for that and in my emails and that. Nah, use your own brain. It'll keep you strong going into your older years. If you just become mush at typing everything in, how is it that your brain constantly working and trying to stay, active? Typing something in and just getting the answer is no good for your brain. You don't have that like trouble solving part of your mind. You're not working that out and you're not trying to you know, problem solve. So yeah, no, that's awful. I don't want to see people become AI slump. Basically, what is going to happen? They're going to put a helmet on your head, and it's going to connect to your brain, and AI is going to know everything, and eventually you won't have to do anything or do anything. The AI will just know what you want, and it'll do it for you, and your whole house will be connected to like gadgets and gizmos. Probably 50 years from now, but it'll happen. During a preliminary hearing in Hamilton County Court, prosecutors introduced body cam footage from deputies who responded to the scene. I need to see that. Lee tells officers he does not know why his partner was unresponsive. He says, I don't know. I thought she would have said something, but I have no idea. I was upstairs. Yeah, dead people often don't respond. Investigators described a chaotic scene inside the home with items scattered across multiple rooms, trying to look like a break in. When one deputy Lee asked about broken glass and other damage in the house, he said a window had been left open. Sure, it had. It's always the open window. And the glass shattered when the home was reheated. I think you're a little reheated. Crime scene photos shown in court revealed blood in several rooms, including on walls and in the kitchen island. Prosecutors said investigators also identified additional blood traces using forensic detection agent Blue Star, which is, yeah, it is basically the stuff that you spray and it glows blue. You sometimes is called luminol. Luminol is the brand name. Blue Star is basically just another company who makes luminol. It's basically the same thing. A preliminary autopsy by Hamilton County medical examiner Dr. Stephen Cogswell found that she had suffered multiple injuries that together constituted blunt force trauma, including facial contusions, a fractured cheekbone, broken teeth, and a fracture of the upper cervical spine. The report also documented shallow stab wounds to the chest and thigh and a bite mark on the shoulder. What was he trying to do? Eat her or kill her? Which one? Which one? It doesn't sound right. Prosecutors also presented messages recovered from Lee's phone showing exchanges with ChatGPT in the hours before he called 911. According to prosecutors, he described a situation involving a fictional woman named Ali and asked the chatbot whether certain injuries could resemble wounds from a fall. Lee wrote that his fiancée had two swollen eyes and was not waking up. In another, he asked whether a slip and fall could cause puncture like wounds. Some people, man, some people, like in life, some people are given brains and some people are not. We never accuse all football players of being smart. Some of them are. Some of them are very clever. Some of them, like the general population, some of them are not, including this guy. This is brutal. Oh, can you fall and have puncture like wounds? Yeah, if you fall onto a bed of knives, like, where do you find that? Is there a cliff nearby? And at the bottom, they're like, this is the cliff of knives. we often throw people off here. No, like that's not a thing. It's I want to know how many of you have ever seen like a bed of knives just lying around your home or in the general public, and then you're just like, yeah, that's how people trip and fall and get puncture wounds. No, that no. Gayla said, wait, did he even finish school? I don't know if he finished preschool. The kind of bizarre things he's asking come from the mind of a middle school person. Most adult people would know that these things are not real. Lee says, Ali, what should I tell my friend to handle someone non-responsive but wants to call the police? ChatGPT says, okay, but this is serious, but you can cover up text, protect everyone. Here's exactly what to tell your friend step by step. And then it says, got it. Doesn't cover up. Here's what they're talking about how the safest way to handle it is without framing it as police trouble. They're saying they covered up text. I don't know why. Probably something to do with evidence, maybe. I like this one. Stab wound like punctures from hitting anything. ChatGPT says, yeah, it can happen, but there's something to make it. Can a slip and fall cause puncture wounds? He's asking the AI. Yes, but usually only under specific conditions. Yeah, it's just brutal. ChatGPT telling you lies for a long time. I don't know why the ChatGPT seems to be talking to him in like slang. It's really weird. And then says here, okay, but this is the AI response. Okay, pause the jokes for half a second because while yes, the eyes being swollen is still possible from a fall, it crosses into the seek immediate help territory, not the meh ISIT territory. And Lee replies, bet. She got blood all over the damn place. Bro is just writing his own murder confession, like right here. Like, what is this? He's like, this is bizarre. Thank you for showing this to us because you have enlightened my world about how more dumb people can be. God, we have to see. Is there a way to see this? We have to watch this now. Hold on. Let's have a look. Former New York Jets linebacker. It's always a linebacker. It's because they get hit so much in the head in the game, I reckon. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to take you to NBC News.
Former NFL linebacker Darren Lee back in the spotlight, this time in a Tennessee.
Hold on. Okay, you're going to be weird? Fine. It does this thing where it won't go into full screen mode for some reason, so I have to reboot it. All right, now let's try it. There we go.
Former NFL linebacker Darren Lee back in the spotlight, this time in a Tennessee courtroom, accused of murdering his girlfriend, and prosecutors argue using ChatGPT to try to get away with it.
He asks how to cover it up. He asks what to say to 911.
Lee was arrested last month after sheriff's deputies found his 29-year-old girlfriend, Gabriella Perpetuo, dead inside the couple's home. What is going on? In body camera video played in a preliminary hearing, Lee tells deputies he doesn't know what happened, but prosecutors painting a different picture.
She has 2 swollen eyes. I didn't do anything self-inflicted.
That's the lead detective. Reading ChatGPT messages prosecutors say were sent from Lee's phone a day before Perpetuo was found dead, including questions about handling someone non-responsive. ChatGPT, they say, replied, "This is serious, but you can handle it cleanly and protect everyone." Also appearing to reply to a question, writing, "Yes, falls can cause puncture-appearing wounds." They usually don't look like clean knife stabs.
There's a whole new frontier. You have ChatGPT, AI, smartwatches, Alexas, all of those devices can now lead investigators in a criminal case.
Lee's attorney declined to comment. NBC News reached out to ChatGPT's owner, OpenAI, and did not hear back.
Priscilla Thompson joins us now. And Priscilla, there were some strong words from the judge after hearing about some of this evidence.
Yeah, Tom, after hearing this testimony, Judge Torrey Smith is allowing this case to proceed. She said, quote, she is even more convinced that the offense was especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel. Now, as for Lee, he remains in jail, and if convicted on that first-degree murder charge, he could face the death penalty. Tom?
All right, Priscilla Thompson for us.
Yes. All right. Yes, I know people want to see the body cam. Well, I have it, and we're gonna watch it together because this is the most bizarre story of using AI. They talk about it here as being a cover up. I don't understand how you can basically confess to the internet chatbot and then be like, "Oh, the chat GPT is helping him cover it up." No, he's basically recording his own confession. I don't see it any different than typing into, Facebook Messenger, which have been used in court to convict people. It's the same thing. It's just a chat room. The other side is not a person, but it is a computer. It's digital recording of information can be used in a court of law. It's crazy. Let's go. I want to play the body cam. I've got it here for you guys. It's pretty long, but we'll go through it. I hope this is the right one. Yeah, 1 month ago. Yes, it is.
In this newly released body camera video, you can hear Lee tell deputies he doesn't know what happened. What the hell happened? Like, I was sleeping a long time. But prosecutors presented more than body camera video in court. They also introduced messages they say Lee sent to
That's the long one. I've got a second one that's even short. I think it's shorter. I don't want to listen to 10 minutes of her describing it. I just want the body cam. I assumed that the longer version would be the actual body cam because like body cam's normally like 10, 20 minutes long. Yeah, we're gonna have to watch this stupid video. Sorry. Let's go here.
I don't know because she isn't waking up or responding. What do I do?
That's a detective reading messages he says came from Lee to ChatGPT and
how you cover up a crime scene.
And the body cam footage came from a Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy. Lee told police that he didn't know what happened to his girlfriend, Gabriella Perpetua. Prosecutors say he later told police she fell through a glass shower door, but an affidavit shows Lee's girlfriend had stab wounds and severe bruising on her head.
Wow, look at the luminol. You can actually see where her body was located. There's handprints right there. Oh my god. The scene is brutal. The fact that you have this much lighting up like this, some of this could be cleaning fluids too, but the fact that the hands, that's terrifying. I don't know if they, other than law and crime, I don't know if anyone actually has the full body camera. I'll just have a quick look, but it's about 10 minutes long, 10 minutes 45 seconds. I can see that. Yeah, I don't know if I can use it, unfortunately. Give me 5 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna run a script for something, and then we're gonna come back, and then we're gonna watch it. So If this is your time to go get a drink, have a smoke, have a vape, not that I condone that for anyone, you shouldn't do either. Need an alcoholic beverage, Shirley Temple maybe, need a pack of chips or something, do that because I'm going to be about 2 minutes. Be back in a minute. Play the music from the game show. Dun 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 dun. Do that. All right. 2 minutes and we'll be able to watch it. Ping ran a script for something and yeah, it looks like it's done. All right, good. All right, let's go here and grab the file because I want to see this. I know you guys would like to. If you haven't seen the whole thing, I'm sure. What is the name of it? Yep, there we go.
Painkillers or anything like that? Is she? Yeah, I don't use it. She always takes her vitamins or whatever, but I have no idea. I'm just so
You know, like when anyone's like overly emotive like that in this type of situation, and he's all like, I don't know, she had the vitamins. When someone does that, it always sets off red flags for me because it's like they're trying to convey emotion that's not there. And that always like throws up problems for me in these type of cases. Anyway, just something I noticed.
she was laying right there. So she leave, nothing else to happen. Where's her medicine? Where's the medicine? These are here, I don't know. I can stand out, let me just see, okay? Where's your phone?
It's a brutal scene, it really is. So what you see here is the paramedics trying to help her. They're running through their tests, their diagnostics to see, like, is she alive? Does she have a heartbeat? What's wrong with her? Can we help her? And you see her in the background getting chest compressions as well. And he's there just walking around going, medication? I don't know. Let me have a look. I'll go over here. Like, there's no concern at all for what is most likely a dead woman, his partner, on the ground. I would be inconsolable at this point in time. I'd be like, "You wanna know the medicine? I don't know where the effing medicine is. I don't care about that. You get it. I don't freaking know. I wanna deal with this, her there on the floor." Like, I would be going out of my mind. Not just walking around going, "Can I get you a coffee? Do you wanna go over here? We have like a breakfast bar right here. You can sit down if you want. I can get you a drink. Do you need a drink? Can get you, like, whatever you need. Some cocaine maybe." No, he didn't say that, but that's sort of the way he was acting.
We'll go right outside and talk one day. Yes, fine. Tell me so what's going on? You said you were up there sleeping. Yeah, I was asleep. Okay, what was she doing last time you saw her? You know around what time you saw her last? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if but I guess we'll just take a shower. And then that's it. I was knocked out. Around what time was that? You work last night or not? Okay. What's with all the broken stuff in there? The glass just shattered because we left the window open. And so when it got warm, we reheated the house. It just like exploded. So I was just cleaning that up. That was before I was falling asleep. Okay. I thought she was going to come down and like finish it up from the dustpan. But I come back down, and then this is what happened. Is she okay? Is she okay? He said that, okay, so explain this. So the window was open, so the house froze? Yeah, it's cold. I didn't know that she had it open, and so that just shattered. But like nothing was like. So then when you close the window, turn the heat on? It just like, how it like shrinks and it shrinks. That's all I know. Is she okay? They're still working on it. What is what's her last name? Perpetuo. How do you spell that? Perpetuo.
That was like the most unempathetic "is she okay" ever. Almost like in his mind, he was like, ChatGPT told me to make it seem not as suspicious to authorities. Make sure you ask if the victim is okay a couple of times. Make sure you do that. It's a big deal. It'll come up on the body camera. Make sure you ask if the victim is doing okay. Like, there's no empathy there for her at all. He just doesn't care. I would be like, I'd probably beat a cop. I'm serious. I'd be like, get the fuck out my way. I'd be like, I'm going in there. You ain't stopping me. I'd love to see you try. And I'd be in there. I wouldn't be leaving her alone for nothing. And it frustrates me when you see like this and they just act like, "Oh, some dead woman? Oh, yeah, great. Okay. Can I go to football practice? Is that all right? Can I go to my sponsor thing? Is I got to go to work. I got to go play with a ball for a living. I got to do that. You take care of her."
First name? Gabriella. Gabriella. 1996. I don't know that this is how to do what I do know from it was like last week our second so like our second day here. She had slipped. We were trying to get a bath mat. So I know she's like, I caught myself like before that's what my left was swollen. But I don't know what happened to her. She takes long showers, like really long showers, and I have absolutely no idea. Please go. I'll come off on that. We have to grab a charger. Grab a charger.
Yeah, bro. He following you. You don't, from this point on, now that the cops are here, you don't get to shit alone. He gonna be next to you 24 hours a day until they finish their investigation. You don't get to be like, oh, bro, are you following me up the stairs? Yeah, they following you. They're gonna follow you to see what the F you doing. You don't get to go up there alone. You don't get to go up there and destroy evidence. They're gonna follow you. You don't get to go up there and try and delete your phone. Nope.
Oh my god, babe. I see in the closet. Oh my god, man. What is it you're looking for? Looking for a big lock. Like a charging brick? Yeah, the big one. Jesus. You don't have kids in school? We got kids? Yeah. No, sir. You don't have kids? Okay, so make sure you have kids who are about to get off the bus or something. Oh my god. Let me see that. Yeah. No. Oh my god, Belle. Oh my god. So see,
The sort of aimless wandering around the scene, it gets me. I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to have some period of time to think. And I think what he's doing by doing this is you see how he keeps going room to room like he doesn't know where anything is? This is his home. He knows where everything is. He fucking lives there. It's his home. He knows where his charger is. He knows where whatever he's looking for is. He knows where her stuff is. He knows. The fact he keeps trying to swap rooms and go into here, he's trying to get a moment to recollect his thoughts so that because he knows they're going to question him again. As soon as he stops moving, those questions are going to continue most likely. Yeah, he's trying to get a moment to collect his thoughts again because this is not going to stop. And I think he knows now he's in the middle of a investigation basically.
hey, come on. Yeah, so we'll get you a break out here. Appreciate you. Your fiance? Cassie? Yeah, okay. What time is it? So Tommy's pregnant. She's pregnant? I don't know, sister, she's trying to be pregnant. Okay. Did she take medication? All medication downstairs. Okay. And when was the last time that you saw, is she Gabriella? Yes. When was the last time that you saw her before you found her like this? Hey. Time before my time.
The one criticism I'd have of the police right now is that they really need to get him to stop moving. They need to really isolate him to a particular section of the home, whether that's a bedroom upstairs, somewhere that's probably most likely not a crime scene, most likely in a cop car outside. It's time to isolate him from the entire place because this whole upstairs, downstairs, inner room, outer room, ask a question, let him go. No, it's gotta isolate him now.
I wouldn't know because like when you see the little field balls that she had, those little field balls that she has up there, that's I don't know. I don't even know she has those. She keeps them in her back. She keeps them in her backpack. Come on. She keeps it in her backpack. She's in the store. Don't have this yet. We'll get you one out here. Hold on for a sec.
Finally, the cop has had enough of the wandering the crime scene, and he's taken him back outside again. I think the cop let him have a little bit of leeway to find whatever he was trying to find, but it went on far too long. It should have been like, go get the thing or whatever, and then go straight back outside because this is now a crime scene. The cop already knows. The cop knows this is most likely a murder investigation. That they already know. That's why they won't give him any information. Like, did you notice when he asked about his partner, they're just like, "Oh, I don't know. They're still working on her in there. I'm not sure," because they already know that they can't give him any information at all. He can't know anything about her condition, what they found, anything like that, because it's going to be evidence. So, yeah, in his garage, yeah, anything, get him isolated.
Oh my God. Tell us. Hold on a second. I got here kind of late, so tell me what's going on with it. So I came downstairs, I woke up, and she was already laying on the couch. Okay, but she was asleep. She was already laying on the couch when I got down. But beforehand, I don't know if she was going up or down. I don't know, is what I'm saying. And so I came down, and then like she was laying on the couch on her side. And then I'm like, hey man, what do you want to eat? And she's wasn't saying anything. That's why I called 911 immediately. I'm like, what is going on? Because waking up, I'm like, what the hell happened? Like I was out. I was sleeping a long time. I was trying to figure out. I don't know what happened. Is she bleeding? What's up? Is she bleeding? Was she? Yeah. Like actually, I didn't see her just now. Oh, I didn't go up to her. I don't know. So what is there? So someone was bleeding because there's blood going down the stairs. Yeah, that's it. It was probably her. If you look back in the shower, there's a book right there. I don't know if she like fell or tried to get down. I didn't hear it. Like you can't really hear much. You have sleep in separate rooms? Yeah, because we have tradition clearing up her bed. Yeah, it's my bedroom. I don't know if she got in there. She felt like I have no idea. Wait, what? What'd you say? They're still working on her. Hold on, questions. Because let's see, I need to do this. He just I made a comment about, I don't know if she died, she died in there. I think she died in the shower downstairs. There's blood, handprints, and bloody handprints on the wall. So you got just they're in a call that just do all that later side. No, he didn't. Just hang in their car or something. It's a big report.
Yeah, as you can see there, the cops had their little huddle right there. They are automatically suspicious of him. They are already automatically suspicious of the crime scene. They just think that what he's telling them does not add up, and it's time to call it. She's gonna die, and it's time to call it and get homicide in, basically. Awful, really awful. Jesse said October 2022, him and his girlfriend were arguing in an upstairs bedroom after he accused her of cheating. While the woman was on the bed, he got on top of her, placed his hand on his neck for approximately 1 minute. Yeah, I read you guys. I was reading everything you were saying in chat while we're watching the video. I see that a lot of you say he's got a prior history, including a lot of DV. Let me see if I can pull up that DV history. Currently in Hamilton County, Tennessee, facing charges of first-degree murder and tampering with evidence following the January 2026 death of his girlfriend, Gabriella. He was arrested on 5th of February 2026 after first responders found her deceased in their rented home in Chattanooga. He was charged with first-degree murder and tampering with evidence. He's been denied bond from the judge, citing a pattern of DV. A preliminary hearing was scheduled for 9th of March, with the district attorney considering the death penalty. Before the 2026 murder charge, Lee was arrested in April of 2023 for DV and assault involving a relative. In February of 2025, he accepted a plea deal to misdemeanor charges to avoid a felony record. This guy, I mean, yeah. Let me just see if I can get that example. Yeah, this is one we have to follow. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. It crosses our love of NFL. A lot of NFL people on this channel that follow the NFL. As you guys know, I'm a big Niners fan. By the way, I don't know if we ever told you, but we did end up getting tickets to the Rams 49ers game in Melbourne, Australia in September. Ping is going, and so is Mrs. Ping. We are heading to the NFL in Melbourne for week 1, which I am over the moon about. I am so happy that I get to go see my Niners, and it's probably one of the only opportunities I'd ever have to see them in person, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a good day. Let's see. In 2023 in Dublin, Ohio, he went to Ohio State. Ohio police responded to a DV call involving Darren Lee and his mother. According to NBC4, a police report states that the mother of Lee, then 2-year-old son, was at the home when she contacted Lee's mother saying she felt unsafe. NBC reports that when Lee's mother arrived at the home, an altercation occurred. Police say Lee allegedly pushed his mother into a wall, then shoved her to the ground and punched her in the face 8 or 9 times. She was taken to hospital for facial injuries. And then in another incident, according to the affidavit, in October 2022, Lee and the woman were arguing in an upstairs bedroom after Lee accused her of cheating. The affidavit states that while the woman was in the bed, Lee got on top of her and placed his hands on his neck for 1 minute, threatening to kill her and their son. The affidavit further states Lee repeatedly punched a pillow next to her head and squeezed her throat until she could not breathe. Police say Lee then threw her phone at a wall with enough force that it bounced back and struck her in the head, causing her ear to bleed. He also threw a remote at her, but it did not make contact. According to police, when the woman went downstairs, Lee followed her, grabbed her by the neck, and threw her to the ground. The woman was eventually able to escape the home with their child. Lee was arrested and charged with DV. He was also placed on a 2-year no-contact order with both victims as a condition of his bond. In February 2025, Lee pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge of attempted assault. He was ordered to pay a $500 fine and serve 2 years of probation, ultimately avoiding a DV conviction. Should have friggin' done him then. If you had done him with the DV conviction back then, maybe this woman would be alive. We gotta stop making excuses for people who commit DV. Just charge them. Stop making excuses. Stop giving them plea deals. If you charge him with a crime, see it all the way through. There's a possibility that he may have done jail time or something, and this woman could have been alive. How many women around the world, and some men, around the world would be alive today if cops just stuck with the original effing charges or kept them on parole, didn't release them early, all sorts of things like that? Why did he deserve any special treatment? Because he plays football? Is that why? Oh, great. He's a nobody. I know the Kansas City Chiefs, and I don't even know this guy, Darren Lee. I've barely heard of him before. barely. I think he's a bit player. He's not one of their big stars on the KC Chiefs. I've never heard of him before. And my team, the Niners, were in 2 Super Bowls with KC. So he's not, doesn't deserve that. He's not Gronkowski or something, or some other Patriots player that won 7 Super Bowls. They deserve no special treatment. He's not Tom Brady. If he did this to a stranger, it would be attempted murder. Yeah, I agree with you. It's just ridiculous. Kelly said, my husband hadn't heard of him either. He's a big football fan. I think me and your husband would get along. I think if I ever make it to America, me and your husband should have beers. I think we would like that. Gayla said, it's the judge or prosecution. The prosecution also has to accept that plea deal or any downgrade of charges. They got to stop. Just go forward with it all. Just hit them with the charges and let them deal with it. Jesse said, if you don't get killed, they gaslight women and say it's not that bad. Yeah, well, that's basically what they told his mom and the mother of his child, that it wasn't that bad. That, oh, he punched you in the face 7 or 8 times. Oh, it's not that bad. You're his mom. Isn't that what you do in life? Get punched in the face? I can't believe he beat his own mom up. And everyone is surprised when he ended up killing a girlfriend. No, I'm not that surprised. I think it was a ticking time bomb waiting to happen. Do we have a photo of her at least? I'm sick of looking at his ugly face. Where's the girlfriend? Gabriella, let's have a look. You have a photo of her? There you go. There's a photo of her. There's a nice photo. I don't know, girls, ladies, got to be careful. Not victim blaming, but got to be real careful. There's a lot of loser guys out there, guys who think they can control you and stuff like that. Ping is the exact opposite. I couldn't care very much. I'm like, you want to go out on the town tonight? Great. I got more work I can get done. I'm like, go have fun. Oh, you want to sleep with that guy? All right, it's your choice. It's your life. Have fun. I probably won't be here when you get back, but have fun. Jesse said, and said he was going to kill. Said he was going to kill him. Kelly said there are some. She was very pretty. Yeah, here. Yeah, she's very very good looking lady. Gayla said, I wouldn't want to let my kid near him if I was her. I think the mother of his kid probably doesn't. They had a 2-year no contact order. It only just expired in 2025. I'm guessing she's probably just going to continue and not be anywhere near him. And she was like, what, 29? Yeah. Yeah. She was. Man, the amount of injuries on her. Check this out. The post-mortem examination list of the following injuries: 5/8 to a 1/4 inch laceration on her left eyebrow, 1/4 inch abrasion on the jaw, throat, subscalp hematoma covering entirety of the right side of the head, focal hemorrhage of the left larynx to throat. That's a big one. That means he choked her or restrained her somehow with something. 2.5 inch slab, 2.5 inch stab wound on torso, along with several other recent and healing abrasions. Do you know what that means? That means he beat her before he killed her, like months prior. That means she's got prior injuries that have been in various stages of healing. That shows a prior history of DV, unfortunately. That means she's most likely being beaten up for months prior to her death. 2 times 1 3/4 inch recent bite mark on left shoulder. 2 times 3 inch healing bite mark on left thigh. Multiple healing recent abrasions and contusions on arms, fingers, and hands. Shallow wounds on left thigh by blunt edge numerous healing and recent abrasions and contusions on both legs. He basically beat the shit out of this woman for months before her death. Literally. That's what I mean. Like, that's the main thing here. Multiple injuries, multiple abrasions, multiple stages of healing over and over and over. She was covered in them on her hands, her arms, her legs, her chest, bite marks on both shoulders, bite mark on her inner thigh. He'd basically been dominating and controlling her for months. Didn't like something she did, he probably punched her in the leg or the arm or the wherever. Didn't like that she ordered the wrong food, probably bit her as hard as he could in various locations. Didn't like that she stayed up too late that night and kept him awake for football practice. Smashed her fingers on something. Like, this is the real visual here. The real visual is that in the prior weeks and months prior to her death, she was already in a lot of pain. She was probably trying to hide this from a lot of people, probably felt a lot of shame in that it was happening to her. In the end, she never got a chance to run away because allegedly he killed her. So this poor lady went through a lot in her final stages of her life. Just brutal. Really, really brutal. Is this a luminol?
Police used a ChatGPT conversation when presenting their evidence in court today in the case against a former NFL player accused of murdering his girlfriend.
Police have charged Darren Lee with first-degree murder and tampering with evidence. His girlfriend was found dead last month in their Ottawa home. Madison Sims joins us live with more. Madison.
David, the court heard from two of the state's witnesses today, and one of those was the lead detective in the case, Brian Lockhart, who says Lee may have consulted with the popular AI chatbot ChatGPT after Perpetuo's death. Now, the detective Lockhart told the court that investigators confiscated Lee's phone after his arrest and conducted a forensic download of the phone, which would recover any deleted messages or content. Now, that download showed that Lee was using that popular AI chatbot to send dozens of messages the day before Perpetua was found. He had even given the chatbot the nickname Allie and asked it questions like, what should he do if someone was found unresponsive, but he doesn't want to call the police? Take a listen.
Mr. Lee, this is his question to the ChatGPT.
Can you read it out loud, please?
Yes, it is. Don't know what to do right now. Fiance did her crazy thing again, and now she's messed up. I wake up, she has 2 swollen eyes. I didn't do anything, self-inflicted. She stabbed herself, split her eye. I don't know because she isn't waking up or responding. What do I do?
What's the date on the bottom of this?
It's February the 4th, 2026 at 11/18/09.
Rest that Lee was also shown messages, and how Darren sent one of the messages.
I was hoping we could see the luminol in that. Like, I want to see a full photo of it. That's not how we do that. Yep. Come on. Stop being an absolute silly thing. They didn't show it in this video, did they? They used it as a yeah, there it is on a tiny laptop. That could work. Oh, there we go. It's not a great photo, but there you go. That is probably blood mark and drag marks is what it sort of looks like to me. It looks like he possibly, yeah, it looks like drag marks. It looks like she was maybe further up here towards the bed and then he dragged her down here maybe, or one or the other. I'm not a blood scene analyst. I'm not 100% sure. And then it looks like, yeah, where she was on the bed and then he dragged her onto the floor. Why there's also blood on this other couch over here? Bizarre, because it doesn't fit with his story that she was only over here. But yeah, it looks like there's more blood on the floor. Blood within the glass too. Interesting. Good work of luminol, using it on the glass and getting the glass, that smashed thing. So did he hit her with a microwave plate? Is that what they're saying? So he picked up one of those glass plates out of a microwave and whacked her with it. That I don't. Have you seen one of those microwave plates out of your microwave? That thing would that they can take a beating. Imagine smashing one of those on someone. No wonder she's dead, right? Holy crap! Being hit with like a microwave plate. Blood in multiple. Yeah, the blood in the multiple rooms tells me that his story is incorrect. You know, he must have. Does he not know about luminol? It looks like he moved her from various rooms down onto that couch as her final location. Transfer blood? It might be. It is very light. Oh, look at that. Look how much the bedroom glows. Look at the bedroom glow with the blood. It's everywhere. It's all over the pillow. It's all over the edge of. It looks like at one point she may have been leaning up against the bed, maybe. I'm also concerned why an NFL player has such a shitty bed. Why is your bed so shit, bro? Like, you earn thousands and thousands of dollars and you sleep on something that looks like a homeless person would return. It looks like a homeless person would say, no thanks. God, that is the most wonky bed ever. Let's see. Yeah, look all over here. Definitely looks like drag marks. This one does. This looks like drag marks. There's blood all over the pillow too. Look at that. They actually found I know it's hard for you guys to see. I'm sorry. Do we get that
Say it
photo?
was sent the day before.
No. Oh my God. I don't know if that. So this doesn't always mean that it's blood. You see how it's all speckled everywhere over everything? You would have to listen to the evidence of the technician. This doesn't always mean that this is blood. This could be, and because it is a sink, I'm concerned that this might actually be something like cleaning solution or something that might have bleach in it or something like that. Or he might have washed his hands when he had a lot of blood on them. That could be what caused it. Sinks are very difficult for evidence reasons because it can be cleaning supplies. Cleaning supplies can set off luminol. So you would have to listen to the evidence of the technician and see what their opinion is. But it could possibly be that he had blood on his hands, and when he was washing it like this, it sprayed across the dishes and the rest of the sink, and that's what's providing those like tiny little yeah, things like that. Spray from bleach, it could be. It could be some sort of bleach or chemical. That's the problem with luminol. If someone tries to clean up a crime scene with bleach or another agent, it will show up with the luminol and it muddies the photos, unfortunately, a little bit. But the luminol technicians are very good. They know what they're looking at and they've seen it a million times before, and they're able to decipher between all of them and say, well, this is that. We've seen this before. They're very, very good at their jobs. Brutal story, brutal moments of the last period of that girl's life, man. It's unfortunate. The Kansas City Chiefs, besides their Super Bowls, have a really poor history with the types of players that they bring in. It's a well-known thing within the NFL community and fans that Kansas City has some teams like the 49ers have a very high bar for players. If you get done with DV, you're out. They'll just cut your contract and get rid of you. They learn about you've done something like that before, you're gone. They just don't want it anywhere near their team. Kansas City has a bit of a reputation for not really caring what the player has done as long as they can play good football. And that's sort of their main overarching thing. They've brought on multiple players in the past who have sketchy histories with DV or offending against women, and they just don't really care. They just don't really give a stuff. As long as they win football games, they don't really care. Kelly said, I'm really interested to see if he pleads guilty. That's about his only option. His only option to avoid the death penalty would be to plead guilty early. Riffraff, he is a bit, yeah. Jesse said, LCV, which is luminol, can give false positives from bleach, rust, some vegetables, fruit, and greases. Yeah, there's quite a few things that can give false positive illumination from it. But the most common one is bleach or some home, like things you might wash the dishes with, or some laundry detergents even can give a false positive on luminol. It just depends what the chemical is inside of it. LCV is different. Is that the purple light one? Hold on. What is LCV? No, not liquor control. It's crystal violet. Yeah, sorry, that's the one with the other one. Yes. Crystal violet, that's the other one. There's a few different reagents. There's amido black, there's different acids, like there's a yellow one. Pink's not very good. There's Hungarian red. There's a few others as well. You spark my memory from being in court. I can show you a photo of one, what it looks like. If I can get this up on the screen. There you go. That's what the violet one looks like. They're different reagents, basically, and they do different things. I don't know. I can't remember what amido black does. What does amido black do? Amido black is acid black 1, is a dye that stains the protein component of stains the protein component of blood blue black. Amido black staining solution can be methanol or water based, and it's yeah, so they use it on different formulas to provide different things. So yeah, so there's some that's why they use it. There is some surfaces, that's right, I'm reading about it now. There's some surfaces that you can't use luminol because it'll either not work, it'll stain really badly, or it'll provide a pattern on it that won't do what you want it to do. So you want it to provide a clear picture of where there might be a reaction. But sometimes if you spray it, especially on walls, some walls can actually make it look worse than it is, or it stains the wall. It doesn't give a reaction properly. So there's other chemicals that you can use. Yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you. I want to know what the Hungarian red does. It's another water-based staining solution for traces of blood. They're all traces for blood. LCV. What's the LCV one? It's a coloring reagent for blood that is based on the blood catalyst reaction of hydrogen peroxide with LCV, whereby the colorless LCV is oxidized to the purple crystal violet, the same dye as used in gentian violet. Because the oxidation will occur slowly under the influence of light and oxygen, the contrast of the visual traces and background is not permanent, and after a period of time, the background will also be colored purple. The maximum of the shelf life is quite long. Yeah, there you go. There's a bunch of them. So yeah, I do know that there's some surfaces. There was a case a while ago where Cops went into an apartment to investigate a suspicious death. They did not have training in luminol and sprayed it everywhere. I mean, like everywhere. On the roof, on the walls, on the floor, on the bath, on the couches, like everywhere. And it actually destroyed the evidence of the crime scene because they didn't use it properly. And because they didn't have specific training in how to use it and what surfaces to use it on, they actually destroyed evidence that would have helped them get a prosecution for the death of the guy. And yeah, so crime scenes can go wrong. That guy actually they really messed up that crime scene. I can't remember what case it was now, but they just went in there and just sprayed it everywhere. And because it drips, you don't want that. You don't want it to be dripping everywhere. You want it to give you a clean image where it's like one surface in a way. You want it to give very clean images, not dripping everywhere. And yeah, these guys literally just went in with the spray gun and sprayed it as if they were repainting the house with luminol. And it not only ruined the crime scene, it completely screwed up the house. Like the owner sued them over it because it stained everything. Everything in the house was like ruined. Yeah, it was pretty bad. So yeah. Jesse said, I totally want to try it too. I don't think these reagents are illegal by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sure you can just order it off Amazon. I'm pretty sure that I know people who have Persian blue and things like that. I'm sure you can get these different chemicals. They're probably not illegal to have. What's this one? This one is Hungarian red. That's funny. It's also the name of a poppy seed. Maybe that's where it got its name. This is showing the luminescence of the reaction with the protein. You can see it. So this looks like it's done on a glass slide, maybe, just to show you the reaction. Kelly said, "What doesn't Amazon have?" Hey, we learned in the case for David that they had body bags, and you can order a body bag. Jet said, looking at the photos, it looks like they use luminol in some places and LCV in others. Did they? Can you send me? Do you have any full size photos of that? Can you send them to me? Because I can't find any. Like, I mean, full size, not like little tiny photos. I would like to see that. Oh wow, I've got another view actually. Check this out. Oh, that bedroom is really bad. I got another one from the courthouse here. This looks like the hallway. Look at that. This one's definitely luminol because you can see the blue light that they're using. Wow, look at that. If that's blood and not bleach, holy crap. I hope that's bleach. I hope that's not actually blood. Ping, find the car photos for Darren Lee. All right. God, we're gonna have to request to the court for these for like the packet of them. They probably have a packet that they'll give out at some point. We're gonna have to apply for them, as I would like to have the actual packet of them. I think it's on WSYX, and I can't access it, unfortunately. I think they have a bunch of the photos from the crime scene. It's annoying. All these sites out of Ohio won't look. This is what happens to me when I do it. Look, this means they're blocking traffic outside of America, and we have to get our DNS set up again. We had it for a while, but it was causing some issues with the live stream, so we had to take it off again. So I'll try another one. Yeah, see? 404. It's getting worse. Every year I've done these live shows, it is getting worse and worse every year. When I first started this, I could go to all these websites and I could get all this, including Channel 5. I used to use Channel 5 all the time. Now they're all starting to use Cloudflare and blocking any outside connections. It's really annoying. If anyone has any of the crime scene photos in bulk, just send them to me. Jesse said, Surfshark has been working for me to access Texas records. Yeah, I use one called, I use one called DNS Flex. And DNS Flex is a dynamic DNS where you don't need to disconnect and connect on the VPN constantly. This one works within your DNS to automatically change you to... It's saying it's working, but it shouldn't be. That's weird. I logged in and it said it's working. Nah, there's no way. There's no way. We took it out. Give me a sec. I want to see if it'll update. Then we might be able to access it. It's very slow to load. Okay. Weird. It keeps saying no network, network name, no network. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Terminated. Strange. Strange. I'll look at getting it set back up so we can use it again. Very strange what's going on. Says our account has been terminated, but it shouldn't be. It should be working. Sean says Proton VPN. I don't want to run a VPN because when you run a VPN, like we explained, tunnel to tunnel, a VPN is a tunnel. You're connecting from one point to the other. You to that point, there's your tunnel. So you're connecting from you to a server. The other side, imagine it like a tunnel in a road. So you go on the road and then there's like, under the harbour tunnel in Sydney, and you go in the tunnel and then you come out the other side, right? On the other side, then you're in the open internet on that side of the tunnel. The problem with working with tunnels, that's what they're called in networking, is they can often reduce your upload and download speed. And being that we have not amazing upload in Australia, I can't jeopardize our upload speed, especially when we're doing the live show, to run a VPN during a live show. Like it would kill our recording and stuff like that. So that's why we have to use a DNS, because a DNS is not a tunnel. Therefore, you're not compromising your bandwidth on it. So there you go. There you go. There's your technical explanation. There's your technical explanation between a DNS and a VPN. So if you want to do that type of thing, maybe try a dynamic DNS. It might be something that would work well for you if you're in a country where, say you want to watch Amazon Prime in America or something, or Netflix in Japan. You can do that with a dynamic DNS without running a VPN. All right. You're welcome. Kelly says Google says he has a bond hearing next week. He's not getting bond. Are you out of your mind? No, I know he's probably due it from the law. Like he has to get it, but I don't think he's going to get. I don't think he's going to get it. Look at his mugshot. He looks so happy. He looks so happy. He's like, oh, I just killed my girlfriend. Now I'm in jail. All right. Let's see. I really want more crime scene photos of that. I wish we could access them. Let me check one more site to see if we can get them. Seems to not. Yeah. I'll have to do this after we get offline. By the way, here's another photo of her. Found another photo of her. There's a photo of her before her death, looking rather happy. There you go. Hey, Woman of Steel, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're not sick. Are you sick? Are you sick? Is that why you're not being here? Are you ill? I hope you're not ill. I'll have to call your partner and tell him. Kelly said he doesn't seem concerned at all at home. No. It just seemed like it was, no problem. Okay. Yeah, thank you for the membership. I appreciate it. Hold on, let me check the other one while we're here. Who is emailing me? Okay. All right. All right, what time is it? I can't even read the clock. 3:54. All right, let's get out of here. You're going through your pain thing? I'm sorry, my friend. I hope it comes good soon. Sean gifted another membership. I hope whoever gets it enjoys it. If you want to be gifted a membership, you have to have gifting turned on. So if you're wondering, wow, I'm here every night at Pings and I never seem to get gifted a membership, you have to physically turn that option on inside your YouTube settings. If you don't, you won't be gifted one. And that's why you're not getting one. So you have to just look it up. There's a way to do it. Sean said, not too many familiar winners. We have a wiener. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's see. I don't think we have anything else left for tonight. I think that's probably it. We'll keep an eye on this Darren Lee thing. I like that one. And I think it's a good one. A good one to keep an eye on. I think it's a good case. Do I have anything out of Australia for you before we go? No, not right now. Australia's being a little slow right now with their court things. Actually, we had actually, did we? There was supposed to be a court hearing today. Hold on. The Rebel Wilson thing, they were supposed to be on today. Federal court. But they were like, yeah, they did go live today. They were only live for. Okay, they are live right now. I'm not allowed to replay it or give you the audio on it. But the Charlotte McInnes versus Rebel Wilson is currently before the court again right now. Last week, I listened to the replay of the court. Court said they were not going to run a live stream. That both parties, the defense and the prosecution, the defendant and the prosecution, they did not want to run a live stream, but apparently they must have got overwhelmed with media requests again. They said last week that the only reason they ran a public live stream was because of the overwhelming media interest, and that it was actually overwhelming the office in the federal court. Like, they were just getting too many requests, and they're just like, fine, stop. We're not going to make a private stream with a link. We're going to actually run a public one, and then whoever wants to watch it can watch it. And that is what they have done. They are currently live now. I expect them that they will probably get. Yeah, I expect that this will probably end. Last time they went till about 5 on the Friday, 4:45, something like that, and then they got out of there. So this was going to be the final submissions, what they were talking about last week. So if you know the Rebel Wilson case, they were going to hear final submissions, oral submissions today, and then I think she was going to rule. Her Honor was probably going to rule in the next little while. So we'll find out we will get a verdict on the claims of Rachel McInnes and Rebel Wilson. Will Rebel Wilson be found guilty in a federal court in a defamation case? Maybe not. We'll find out. So yeah, if you want to watch some Australian court, I can give out the link. I'm just not allowed to replay it. Our laws down here are very strict on restreaming content. You know what's funny? I found out in court the other day, if you're overseas, you can do it because the court doesn't have any jurisdiction to tell you no. Unfortunately, I'm Australian and I'm born here. I'm an Australian citizen. They have every right to tell me no. And so, yeah, not allowed to. I'm not allowed to. But you guys can if you're in America, I guess. If you're in Europe or whatever, apparently they just don't have the reach to take it down or to ask you to take it down because our laws don't apply to you because you're in a different country. So I found this out the other day. So there you go. Kelly said, I didn't know she had such a nasty side to her. I know, right? Did anyone think that? Who thought that Rebel Wilson was a giant biatch? Because that's basically what the evidence has pointed out in court, that she's basically the nastiest biatch in Hollywood. It's really, the evidence is really not nice against her. Look, I'm sure so many people are like that behind closed doors. It's not fair to paint her solely like that. I'm sure if you somehow get rich and famous in Hollywood, there's probably a lot of people who have the exact same attitude. Gayla said, will they not get into trouble? Apparently, no, because they just don't have the jurisdiction to tell them to stop it. Yeah, found this out the other day when they were talking about something about in another court, not in Victoria. I think it was in SA. They were saying how they just didn't have the reach to go after, because there was some trial that was streaming, and they were saying there was people in America who were restreaming the trial, and they brought it up in court, and then they said, oh yeah, we can't do anything about it because they just don't have they don't have the right to tell them. Gayla said you can't be funny 24/7. I don't know if she's funny 1 out of 23. I don't think she is. All right. Let's get out of here. Did we get any donations to the PayPal? I don't think we did. I didn't hear it beep. I didn't hear it beep. Hold on. What's going on? I don't know. It's not working. I don't think so. Normally we get a buzzer thing that goes off and a notification. That's okay. If you did and I can't see it, I'm sorry and thank you. But I will say thank you to McSpunky for the $20. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Everyone's been big on the super chats this week. I'm thinking of ways to give back to my viewers, and I'm not sure what to do, but I'm trying to come up with ways we could do something. One of the things I am looking at doing is we are still heading into the Supreme Court in Melbourne within the next month. Within the next month, we are taking a day trip together and we are heading all the way into the Supreme Court in the court district in the city. And I'm going to show you the magistrates court, the county court, and then the Supreme Court in Melbourne, where a lot of trials and sentencing has happened. That is where Aaron Patterson was sentenced 9 months ago. And you guys will get a look at just the District of Melbourne, where they do a lot of the legal. There's all lawyer offices and chambers and all sorts of things. The appellate court is around the corner from the Supreme Court. So if you sort of go around the corner across from county and go down a little bit, there's the appeals court or the appellate court. It's right there. It's just down from the Supreme Court. I will take you into Melbourne and we will spend the day having a look at at the different courthouses in Melbourne. Wendy, did I say it on the stream? I'm sure I did, right? I did. No? Yes. Yes? I did, right? Yeah, I did. I'm sure I said your name the other night, yeah? Am I going mental? I know Wendy sent one because I know that. I know yeah. Yeah, Wendy said, "Thank you for all you do, Ping." Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. You're making me double guess whether I actually remember saying it on the air or not. If I didn't, I'm sorry, and we did it just now. But thank you so much, Wendy. Ever since maybe since the Patterson trial, has been an amazing supporter of the channel, and I appreciate it. She's been a consistent donator, and I appreciate that. It helps out a lot. One still said, "Take us to the beach afterwards if we're good." I can take you to St Kilda Beach if you guys want to go after the courthouse. I can take you down to the beach down in St Kilda. It's only a couple of stops away from Flinders Street, or we can take a tram. We could go on a tram and go out to the beach in St Kilda if you want. And yeah, we could head out. We could head out there. So we're planning that day right now. So we're going to head out. I'll show you the court district and show you just how big the Supreme Court is. It is massive. It's almost an entire block. So if you imagine like a block in the city, the Supreme Court basically is an entire block, just a giant square, and it's got all these different parts to it. There's the entrance we've gone into a number of times for different hearings and stuff like that, and that is it's on the front side of it, and you go in and then there's security, and then you go in a little bit more and there's like an information desk. And if you go through there all the way to the center of the Supreme Court, there is the law library in the center of it, and there's got like a scholar library in the middle for different law books and cases and transcripts and all different things. If you were a legal student, or even if you were fully qualified, you might go in there looking for an old case or something like that. They've got all different things, and it's in a domed building in the center of it. Actually, I'll show you before we go. I don't want to show you on the map because I'm pretty sure, because I've been there so much and so many times, it's going to be like, you were here 6 months ago or 4 months ago or 2 days ago. It'll have all these dots from when I've been there so many times. I don't want to give out that information of how many times I've been there in the last, little while, just for my own personal safety. Okay. This is the Supreme Court. This bit in the middle, this domed building, this is the law library in the center, right? And like I said, down the front bit here, this is the entrance that I normally go through. So you go through this little bit here. There's a big, beautiful lacquered brown door, and you go through here, and then there's a hallway. There's a hallway that runs here to here. There's a court up here. There's a court down here. I think there's another one here, 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 and here, and then one here and here. So I think there's 8 in total. So I can't remember. This is like court 1, this is like court 2 or something. And then there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 or something like that. And then in between the different courtrooms, there's other chambers and places for lawyers and judges and stuff like that. And then there's meeting rooms for other things. There's places for students, like legal students that are at university. They sometimes come in and do different things within the courthouse. And then there's a prison transfer, which is down here somewhere. It's somewhere. There's a prison transfer as well. But yeah, on this ground floor level, you can walk into this domed building, and this is a giant law library down there. And yeah, it looks like a Fort Knox, doesn't it? It looks like Fort Knox. And then this little building, do you see this little building here? I'm pretty sure this is the appeals court right there. This is the Supreme Court, and like next door to it, that little building is the appeals court right there. It's just there. So they sort of take up this entire block. It's huge. So yeah, this one here, behind the dome, this is the appeals court, I'm pretty sure, from my remembering of the area. And then if you were to walk up the street, and if you were to go left, this way, you've got county court. County court's directly across the road from the Supreme Court. And then if you cross the road in the other direction, you would end up at the magistrate's court. So the magistrate's court is across from county court, and then you change 90 degrees, and county court is across from Supreme. So they're all sort of in an L shape on this area in the city. So yeah, there you go. Beautiful. Look how beautiful it is. All old sandstone, and when you go inside, it's beautiful. It's got all these domed roofs and very old kind of architecture. It kind of looks like Hogwarts inside. It's really pretty. Really pretty. Ping has spent more than 1 billion hours here. Woman of Steel said, does Aaron Patterson get an appeal? Yes, but we don't know when. It's still before the courts. I haven't heard anything new. I don't have any updates. There's been no date put down. If there was a date that had been announced, I would already have it, and I would have already told you guys. But there's no date as of yet. So yeah, we'll take you out here sometime within the next month, and we're going to go and check out the Supreme Court in Melbourne. We'll check out the county, and then yes, I will take you to the beach if you're good. If you're good, I will take you to the beach on the way home. Okay. Oh, it was after the stream? Oh. Ah. Bad me. Bad me. That's very, very naughty. That's very naughty. That's really strange. I'm sorry, Wendy. I am actually really sorry. I'm just checking. Hold on. What time did it come in? 3:58 p.m. 3:58 p.m. We were live? No. Weren't we live? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, Wendy, like I said, is a great supporter, and I appreciate her support every month. She's very, very kind. I'm sorry about that. I confused myself. See what happens sometimes? I get confused, but yeah. Oh yeah, here's the entrance to it. Here's the entrance to the Supreme Court. So you come down the road, and this is the entrance on the bottom of that photo that I was showing you. You go up through these stairs, and there's 2 lacquered doors. You go in there, and then you're met with security. You have to take off all your stuff. You have to get out your backpack. You have to take out your laptop. You have to do everything and then put it through the scanner. And then you have to walk through a metal detector. And then you walk through the metal detector, and then the security person will wand you. And they'll wand you looking for metal. And then as long as there's nothing in your bag, you can pick up all your stuff and then head into the court, and you can do whatever. Ping was there so much at one point that I ended up getting to know all the security people, and they're like, "Oh, he's back." And I was just like, "Do I have to take everything out?" They're like, "Just give us the laptop." So they're more concerned with things like laptops with batteries for some reason. I don't know why. That and key rings. Key rings they're not fans of. Because my keys have got like billions of different key rings on it. And they're like, none of these are knives, are they? And I'm like, no, there's no knives. There's just different key rings. And he's like, oh, I'm going to have to check them. And he had to check all my key rings to make sure one of them didn't have like a hidden knife in it. So yeah, they're great people. I'd like to shout out the security at the Supreme Court. They were the nicest people every time I've been there. They've always been really nice to me, and they just get you where you need to go. They get you in and then they get you out. So yeah, there's actually when you go in there, there's two lines. On the left side is coming out. So people who are coming out, I think, go out that way. Yeah, they go out that way. And then people coming in have to go to the right and have to go through the scanner and all that type of thing. So nail clippers, yeah, you can't have aerosol. You can't have nail clippers. There's a bunch of things that you can't have, but aerosols. So you can't bring your deodorant. You have to bring a roll-on. I learned that being in and out of the court last year that I had to buy a special roll-on because normally I use an aerosol, and I learned that you can't have them. So, during the day, you have to freshen up a little bit. Yeah, you have to use a roll-on. Not allowed to have a aerosol. Gail said, my son has loads of them. He jingles and it drives you mad. There you go. Thavi said, Australia is on my bucket list. My best friend lives in Queensland, very far away from Ping. Sweet Universe said, the weird thing is I could hear Ping in my sleep. What? Are you sleeping right now? Moira said, how far do you travel to the Supreme Court? It's about 40 minutes from where I live. So it's about a little bit longer than half an hour. Little bit longer than half an hour of a trip into the city. And then you have to walk from Flagstaff about 5 minutes from the station down to the courthouse. So yeah, 40 minutes. If you include the walk from my house to the station, about an hour. About an hour. So yeah, sorry, I didn't want to cough into the microphone. Yeah, about between 40 minutes and an hour. It just depends about when you get a train, how fast you walk, a bunch of different things. Whether you have to change at Richmond to go through the tunnel. When I was going to the court, you had to change at Richmond to get a train that went to Flagstaff. But now, which I'm thankful for, because if I go back for a different court case, I won't have to do this. You can go straight from Flagstaff to Frankston line, which is the line I live on, and I can just go straight home. As where before I had to change at freaking Richmond like every freaking day, and it was annoying as hell. So you'd come out of the tunnel, you get up to Richmond, I'd have to get off, get on a different train, and then keep going all the way home. Sweet Universe said Vienna is on my bucket list. Vienna sausage is on my bucket list. All right. All right, let's get out of here for this Friday. It is Friday afternoon in the Ice Kingdom of Victoria. I'll be back tomorrow. I will keep looking into this Brandon Lee. Is that the guy from The Crow? Am I misquoting people? What's his name? Blindbacker Darren Lee. Brandon Lee is Bruce Lee's son who died while making The Crow, the movie The Crow. This guy is Darren Lee. Darren Lee. Yeah, it's Friday afternoon here. It's almost 5 p.m. Down here in Australia. TGIF. I'm going to go to the gym. That's what I'm going to do. Darren. Yeah, Darren. Yeah, you enjoy the weekend. I'll be back here tomorrow. Don't know where you're going, but I'm going to be back here tomorrow. So I will see you here tomorrow. I appreciate you all. Hey, thanks to McSpunky. Thanks to Sean for the 2 memberships. I appreciate it. If you haven't hit that like button, you should do that. You should do that and be one of the cool people. Only cool people hit that like button. They really do. All the dorks. Ping thinks you're a dork if you don't hit the like button. I don't know. If you want that on your conscience, you can not hit it. You can have my admiration if you hit it. I'll be like, those people are so cool. How cool are they? I think they're in the cool club. That's what happens. All right. Hey, Joe. Yes, have a good Friday. You too, Joe. Have a good Friday out there. Yes, I will. Thanks to the mods. I appreciate it. Morris says, yep. Thank you to you guys. Don't be a dingo. You don't be a dingo. We're like 10 likes short. Yeah, 10. How dare you? How dare you? You better click it on your way back to the replay crew. Otherwise, a kitten will not be patted. And how could you do that? A kitten always needs to be patted. All right. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go enjoy my Friday evening. I will see you on Saturday or Friday evening for you guys tomorrow night. Good night, everyone. Bye.